Hey, everybody. So today we're going to talk about momentum and how it matters. So, on some of our previous episodes, we're talking about the fire, we're talking about the marketing, we're talking about how to stand out in front of other people. And I want you guys to start to think about once you start, how do we keep it going? Once you start your marketing and you get on social media, you're on LinkedIn, you're on Instagram, you're on Pinterest, you're on all these different things. Once you get started, you got this bright idea. So, think of it this way: we lit the fire. Now, I'm not sure about many of you guys. If any of you guys have ever started a campfire, sometimes getting that thing started is one thing, but keeping the fire hot and keeping that flame going, it's really hard. And what does it need? It needs oxygen. So today we're going to talk about momentum and how it matters. And the goal is just to keep the fire lit and how we can push through burnout. Okay. And what we have to do sometimes to rebuild that consistency. Because at the end of the day, we're all going to start something and it's going to stop. It may fail. It may just come to a pause. Something in your work life might interrupt. Somebody opens the door and says, "Hey, there's a fire outside, and we need you guys to stop for a second." Maybe it's I'm working on a report. Maybe I'm working with a new sales team. Maybe I'm working with something with leadership or management, and it puts a timeout in my flow. And then you have to have something to kind of bring you back. So if I'm reeling it out there and I get reeled in, what is it that I can turn around and I can restart that fire? And at the end of the day, it's the key is to keep that momentum going, right? So the consistency, the reconnect, and what that purpose is. So that's what we want to get into a little bit more today. So here's the truth about all this stuff. It's not the start that really makes you successful. So I'm going to say that again. It's not the start of the process that makes you successful. It's what you do after that excitement wears off. You're excited and it wears off. That's where the fire really takes off. So on day one, think about it this way. On day one, it's hot, it's roar, it's blaze, but success is built on day 41, on day 141, on day 1141. So when you're going to go through this process, guys, we all have to think about that. So for me, I'm going to talk a little bit about my own journey. So starting Elevate with Enbody, go years before that, originating loans, being a branch manager, being a sales manager, being in recruitment. I've had days where you can't stop me. You can try, but you can't, because I got that spark. I'm making a difference. I'm out there. I'm on phone calls. I'm going to meetings. I'm on the road. I'm driving. I got my podcast playing. I'm listening to an audiobook. I can't get more in zone. And then there's days where I get up out of bed, right side, wrong side. I'm not sure what happens, but the fire's out. I'm sitting there going, oh, I'm just going through the motions. This is just crushing me. My momentum disappeared. I could take a hot shower. I can have a cup of coffee and I can sit there and I feel like I'm just kind of struggling through the emotions. Like I'm going to get started here. I'm like, I know I got to get this done. I got to get this done. Here's my checklist of things. You know what? I didn't make any videos today. I'll do that tomorrow. I didn't work on my scripting for my podcast for Elevate with Enbody. I'll work on that tomorrow. I have to get ready for a presentation, but it's not until next week. I'm going to work on that tomorrow. It seems like it's really easy to take that fire and push it down and make excuses for something else. So for me, one of the things that's made a huge difference in my momentum is not just having a checklist. It's about kind of like, think of it like a tune-up to your engine. So when you're creating that process, you have to know you have to have oil, windshield wiper fluid, all these different things. And you have to have your daily check-ins. So sometimes when you stall out, that way it's easier for you to kind of have your checks and balances to get going again. Hey guys, if you're new to the show, welcome to Elevate with Enbody. I'm your host, Tim Enbody, where I'm constantly trying to bring my 25 plus years of experience back to you to help you guys grow and build your businesses. So let's get into segment 2. What kills momentum? Momentum doesn't just stop, okay? I know it feels like it. We may slow it down through distractions, doubt, disconnection. So some of these key points, let's talk about that. Distraction, chasing new things instead of finishing strong. How many of you guys have actually, you had the football, you're running down, you get to the 10-yard line, you put it down, you go back to the huddle, all of a sudden somebody comes up with another idea. And you're like, oh, that's a good idea. And all of a sudden you stop playing football and now you're on the basketball court. And then you're down, it's 27-27. You're in the third quarter because we're a really bad elementary school. That's why I just said 27-27. And all of a sudden somebody goes, hey, what about if we did this? And all of a sudden we go chasing that again. We're always chasing that shiny object, which is the next new idea. And those distractions, I'm not sure about you guys, but for me, I'm gonna tell you guys the truth. Don't anybody tell anybody else, but the distractions that I chase at times, I think they almost give me a sense of calmness when I feel that I can't finish something. Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's the the unknown of once I finish this, am I going to get what I thought I'm going to get out of it? So if I put it off, I get these excuses in life. So I take those distractions and I chase that shiny object instead of finishing strong. That is the second thing. The third thing is doubt, questioning whether the grind is really worth it. So we got the doubt and we have the disconnection, losing sight of why you started this all in the same process. So those couple things, guys, with disconnect, with doubt, and when you're out there chasing that shiny object, sometimes we find ways that fire gets pushed down. And for me, it's all three of those. All three of those happen to me all the time. I'm sure they happen to you as well, daily, if not. But it seems like a couple times per week, between leadership, recruiting, building sales teams, social media, putting the podcast together, working with Chaz on some of our different sales and marketing ideas, it just feels like distractions are almost like a welcome instead of truly being a distraction. That momentum killer is actually, we welcome it in, which is weird. I'm not sure about any of you guys. And what we really need to do is we need to blow oxygen. We need to breathe the oxygen back into our momentum and keep it going and finish these projects. And then you're really going to see the alignment and that momentum push us forward. So let's talk about the momentum formula. And this, for me, is something I think is, putting pen to paper. It's helped me out. There's like a little multiplier, if you will. So let's go over that with everybody real quick. The framework, purpose, it's the reconnect. You have to reconnect with what your why is. Why did you start this thing in the first place? Every spark starts there, starts with your why. The purpose turns hard work into meaningful work. Progress. Track your small wins daily. Sometimes when you look at your analytics and you see that you've had X amount of likes, comments, follows, whatever it is, celebrate those. That's your momentum builder. And through that motion, not perfection, but through that motion, it helps keep that spark alive. The people that you surround yourself with, if you surround yourself with naysayers, they will drain you. Surround yourself with believers, people that are willing to lift you up. If somebody recognizes the talent and what you're trying to achieve, you want to surround yourself with more of that like-minded. If you have people that are draining on you, Tim, I don't still see this ever working. I just don't know if this will ever reach enough people to make a difference in my life. Those people, and you may love them, and I'm not saying don't love them, maybe love them more, but don't let them influence your daily, okay? Energy. This one for me is huge. If I come into work and I have energy drainers, which a lot of us do, those are contagious, people. Man, they suck it. They suck the life right out of you like a vampire. You have to guard yourself from those energy drainers. And another big example for me is celebrating. You have to celebrate these wins. Stay connected with your energy boosters. And always remember this, 1% better each day. Don't let yourself feel overwhelmed when you're not having these big gains. It's those 1% gains that are going to keep the spark alive and that momentum moving forward. That way, you don't rise to the level. That motivation just stays there all the time for you. You fall to the level sometimes. And so if we're going to go through a little bit deeper with this, momentum thrives on what, guys? On structure. Now, I'm not a structured kind of guy. Chaz will come into my office and knock, knock, knock. Hey, are we ready to record? I'm like, oh, yeah. Just 1 second. I'm going to run to the restroom real quick. And then I'm going to grab something to eat real quick. I have to go check my hair, because I have so much hair to check, and patience is a virtue, right? But sometimes it's an excuse to just get yourself centered. But the structure, setting that film day or whatever, that to me is where I find peace. Is when I'm like, today I am filming. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do some social. I'm going to do this. I have to work on a pro forma this afternoon. I'm going to get that thing knocked out. And having that checklist, right? So you can get in that routine. And sometimes if you're a morning person, afternoon or evening, I don't care. Structure yourself. And that will help, right? So planning your week, batch recording is a big one. And I'm going to share this with you as well. A 12-week goal. 12-week goal frameworks. These are things that also help a lot of people. I'm still trying to work on that stuff myself, but that's some of the things I'm working on. So when I do my batching or I do the different episodes or so we're scheduling different outreaches or I'm getting ready for a sales trip, if I have that structure, it allows me to keep that energy consistent. And that encourages everybody to kind of follow suit. So I'm going to encourage you guys all with this. So I always have a challenge. Build your system and start working on it this week, but build your system with something that moves you. Maybe it's just one decision. It's your daily grind. You'll gain your energy back. Whatever it is that you gotta like, oh, I gotta do this. Just set a system in place. And if you need some ideas, I'm gonna give you guys a little tool. It's just something you can listen, hit rewind and listen, take notes, okay? It's a 7-day reset to refuel your energy, your focus, and your growth. So here's what I want you guys to try. On day 1, go back to the basics. And I want you to define your why. Why are you even doing this? What is this project for? And then day 2, I want you to work on eliminating all your distractions to make sure that your day 1 thing is getting worked on. Day 3, figure out ways to celebrate your small wins as well as your big ones. Day 4, I want you to simplify one basic system. Day 5, I want you to inspire someone else to do it with you. If you get somebody else to do it and you start to help hold them accountable, guess what? Now as the teacher, you have to do it, right? So if I'm gonna talk to you about losing weight and I'm sitting there and I'm eating my 3rd sub of the day and drinking a cold beer, are you really going to listen to me? But if I show up every day and I have my structure and I have all my goals in place and I start to do this stuff, even if I fall off that bandwagon, you see me kind of jump back up and get back into it, you're going to listen. So invite somebody into this with you, or at least help shadow somebody. Revisit your goals. Day 6, revisit all your goals. I want you to go through and put your goals out, write them, blackboard them. I don't care what you do, but you have to revisit your goals often. And sometimes those goals might change, and that's okay if they do. They might not be aligned with your new task or your refined why. So revisit those goals. And day 7, reflect and be careful not to allow yourself the benefit of this simple thing, reset. Resetting is such a powerful thing. You have a shitty day, reset. You have a great day, duplicate. You're around good people, stay with them. You're around bad people, get away from them. But allow yourself to reset. That is another huge, huge tool. So I'm going to reach in here, pull it out. The ability to reset your day and your momentum and that spark and that fire is what makes the winners winners. Okay. So here's a little thing. Momentum, it isn't luck. It's your own leadership over your energy to inspire and to keep that spark lit. You don't need a new spark, guys. You just need to blow a little bit of oxygen on your fire, and you need to help yourself with your structure. You just need to fan it, right? You just need to fan it a little bit more. You've got this. I believe all of you got this. Here's a quick teaser, by the way. Next episode, the power of perception, how people see you online and offline. With that, guys, as always, until then, keep elevating your business and your brand. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.